Welcome to Unity of Wilmington, a spiritual online community geographically located in Wilmington, North Carolina. My name is Reverend Mindy Tucker. I serve as co-minister along with Reverend Nikki Golden. Today we are supported by Katie Deese on piano. We're blessed with the vocals of Heather Setzler and a guest with us today, Reverend Greg Coles, who serves as the Great Lakes Region Unity Consultant. He's also a certified Unity Worldwide Ministries consultant. He's been in ministry for 25 years, beginning in Houston at Unity of Houston, then Unity of Overland Park in Missouri, and serving a community in Bay City, Michigan. We are so blessed to have him with us today. As we begin, I'm going to remind you of three very important truths about you, and they are truths. Number one, you are a beloved expression of God. Number two, you are here on this planet for a holy purpose. And number three, you are wherever you are by divine appointment. You are in the right place at the right time, right now.
I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way, no. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words from your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words from your lips. Drench yourself with words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten.
We are standing on a bridge. We are standing on a bridge. Of course, a bridge is a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for crossing over from here to there, from our smallness into our greatness, from our I can't to our I can. And the bridge to get us there is called faith. So faith is our topic today. And I know you've heard about faith before, no doubt. But I want to think that after today, you might understand faith just a little bit differently. So I want us to explore 3 different questions today. The first question is, what is faith? Secondly, how are we experiencing faith as individuals? And thirdly, how are we expressing faith as a spiritual community? So I researched the definition of faith in many, many different sources, but the one that really spoke to my heart was by an Indian poet named Tagore. Tagore is one of the winners of the Nobel Prize for Literature. And he wrote this. He said, "Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark." Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark. And I love that description because it speaks to me of perceiving that light, that God energy, and then taking authentic action. There's another definition you might be more familiar with. It comes from the Revealing Word, written by one of our co-founders, Charles Fillmore. Charles says this: "Faith is the perceiving power of mind." Now, when he says mind, he uses a capital M, all right? So faith is the perceiving power of mind linked with the power to shape substance. And I want to suggest to you that this is very much the same as Tagore, just using a different metaphor. So when Charles talks about the perceiving power of mind, capital M, he's talking about our perceiving the power of God, the light, right? And when he says linked with the power to shape substance, he's talking about that God energy, that creative power. And who has that power? Right. You and I. The power to shape substance. So Fillmore, I believe, is really talking about our own awareness of God's power, that light, and our ability to sing our song, no matter the circumstances. Just as the bird feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark. Now, of course, faith was taught, it was modeled over and over again in the Bible when we read about Jesus. And each time he performed his miracles, he would say, "Your faith has made you well." So when he healed the blind man, he told him, "Your faith has made you well." When the woman touched the hem of his garment after bleeding for 12 years and was healed, he turned to this woman and he said, "Your faith has made you well." When the centurion came to him, and the centurion came and asked, "Will you come, please, heal my servant, he's dying," Jesus looked at the centurion and he told him, "It will be done according to your faith." And within the hour, the servant was healed. See, Jesus never said, "I have this power, I have this hocus pocus, I have done this for you." No, he was very clear. Your faith has made you well. And then in the Gospel of John, he goes on to say that these things and more you too shall do also. So what about us, right? Because it really doesn't matter, I don't think, what Tagore said or Charles said or Jesus said. How are we demonstrating this faith as a bridge from a relationship that needs healing into wholeness, from an addiction into freedom, from our fear to our courage, from our sense of lack and needing to abundance and gratitude? How are we using our faith? Because we are standing on a bridge. I think each of us has had experiences of crossing over that bridge a few times during our lifetime. And I'd like to share one of my experiences of crossing over that bridge of faith. It happened about 15 years ago now. It was my very first trip to Unity Village. And if you've ever been to Unity Village, like me, you probably will never forget it. So I was actually on a job interview for Unity Church of Overland Park to serve as their director of worship and volunteers. And during my weekend visit, the vice president said, "Would you like to go to the village?" And I thought, the village? I mean, is that a shopping center? What is it? I had no idea. And she looked at me and she said, "Unity Village." I said, "Unity Village?" I mean, I'd only read about this in books. I'd seen it in calendars. I had no idea. And she said, "Sure, it's 20 minutes away." Well, of course. And I'll never forget coming up the off-ramp and seeing that tower in the distance and walking through the rooms and the underground tunnels. And it was as if I had come home, that I had returned to an essence of myself. But here's what I didn't know at that time. I didn't know it would lead to me speaking with you today. I didn't know that I would be blessed with the amazing opportunity to connect and work with your board and your leadership team on Friday night and all day Saturday. I had no idea. But here's the thing about faith. When you say yes, the universe rushes in to support you in ways you could never understand. So it's a few weeks after the interview, and I'm now working at Unity Church of Overland Park. And I'm taking spiritual education and enrichment classes at Unity Village. And I'm not really a guy that likes being stuck in the classroom for a long time. So every break, I go outside, I go to the courtyard, and I'm strolling along, and I'm swatting the trees, and I'm hopping up on the benches, and I stroll through the rose garden, I meander around the fountains, and then I go back to the classroom. And one of these times I go back, and one of my classmates says, "Isn't it great that they've repaired the Bridge of Faith?" And I said, "The Bridge of Faith?" And they said, "Yeah, it's that bridge in the very middle of the courtyard." And I realized, in all my breaks and times, I had never gone over that bridge of faith. And I knew I had a knowing of what I needed to do. So that day, after class, I went to the bridge. And I walked up the bridge, and I stood there, and I just let the tears come. I sobbed tears of release, letting go of my fear or my resistance to the fear, letting go of my sense of unworthiness, of I can't, I'm not good enough. And embracing a possibility, just a possibility that maybe I can. Maybe I can be a minister. Maybe I can learn to love and respect people equally as myself. Maybe I could learn to love myself a whole lot better. Warts, shadows, and all. Maybe. This was my experience at Unity Village and the Bridge of Faith. A bridge that I continue to cross over from time to time. And I know that you and I, we, are standing on a bridge now. So, traveling that bridge of faith is really an inward journey, right? I mean, we're not talking about changing any conditions out there. It's an inward journey where we're changing ourselves from the inside outwardly. Much like the butterfly that is transformed from the inside out into the butterfly. And I know there's several of you out there who are thinking, oh, I love that analogy. It's so sweet. I want to be a butterfly. But I'll tell you, I'll be honest, it's not sweet. It's messy. It takes work. So let me tell you what happens as the caterpillar is transformed to the butterfly. So when the caterpillar crawls and surrounds itself within the chrysalis, it begins to die. And it begins to die from the inside out. What scientists call imaginal cells are formed within the caterpillar's own biological makeup that the caterpillar's immune system does not recognize as a part of itself. And so it fights off and pushes down those imaginal cells. And the caterpillar might think, yes, I've won. I'm a strong caterpillar. But then there's another imaginal disc, and another, and another, until the caterpillar is fighting for its life, the only life it has ever known. Have you ever been like that? Felt like you're fighting for the only life you have ever known? In a job? Or a relationship? Or maybe your church life? So finally, the caterpillar is dissolved into complete and total mush. But here's where I have good news for you. The good news is, from this mush and chaos emerges something so beautiful that caterpillar could have no idea what it was to become. No idea how beautiful. And to be clear, the creature that walks into the chrysalis is a completely different animal than what comes out. So what walks in with 18 legs comes out with 6. The caterpillar, for all intents and purposes, is an eating machine. That's its job. It eats and devours its environment, much like a lot of our society today. It eats and devours. And the butterfly, on the other hand, has nearly no digestive tract at all. Undetectable. The butterfly is, for all intents and purposes, very much like a giant flying sex organ. I mean, its job is to procreate and produce rather than devour and consume. So when we talk about transformation, we're not talking about changing anything out there. We're not talking about a caterpillar that straps on a wing garment. We're talking about change from the inside out. And we are standing on that bridge. See, I believe that Unity of Wilmington is standing on that bridge now. That you are on the cusp of extraordinary opportunity, change, and transformation and emergence. The coronavirus has pushed us into a new century where a lot of churches have been resistant to online media, social media, this video that we're now connecting through. And yet the youth, the people that we wanted to come into our buildings, they're all out there already on this media where we're wanting them to come in. So we're being pushed. We're being catapulted into a new way of being, of connecting, of supporting one another. And we are really a microcosm of the change that is happening in this world, where old systems that no longer serve are crumbling, are dying, and need to die, so a new, better way can emerge. Barbara Marx Hubbard is a spiritual visionary, and she is the founding member of the Association for Global New Thought. And she writes this. She says, I believe that what we are becoming is new and open-ended, that we have not yet fully experienced our potential. As we learn to use our radical new powers of science and technology, combined with our higher consciousness and deep wisdom, we will give birth to a society equal to our spiritual and social potential, and a new humanity that is yet only imagined in its full expression. We are the crossover generation from one phase of evolution to the next. And I believe that. We are the crossover generation. I believe unity is the crossover spiritual path to transformation and reemergence into something greater, better. And I believe that Unity of Wilmington is standing on a bridge. I heard a poem I'd like to share with you. It really touched my heart. It's written by a woman named Sonia Renee Taylor. See if this resonates with you or challenges you. She writes, "We will not go back to normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal other than we normalized greed, inequity, exhaustion, depletion, extraction, disconnection, confusion, rage, hoarding, hate, and lack." She writes, "We should not long to return, my friends. We are being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all of humanity and nature. One that fits all of humanity and nature." We are standing on a bridge. So, to close, I'd like to invite you to join me on a meditation. This is going to be a visualization meditation, and we're going to go back in time, 70 years ago, actually. We're going to go back to June of 1951 and the dedication ceremony at Unity Village of the Bridge of Faith. Are you ready to go? So if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes and imagine that you're sitting in this beautiful courtyard. Feel the sun as it gently warms your skin. Feel the chair beneath you, supporting you. It's a beautiful day. There's so much excitement. There's music playing in the distance. It wasn't Kate, but someone was playing music as we await the dedication of the Bridge of Faith in honor of our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And sitting in this courtyard at Unity Village, we listen to these words of dedication that were spoken that same day on June of 1951 by Unity minister Ernest Wilson. A bridge is an affirmation. It's the assertion, man's assertion of I can, to nature's challenge, you cannot. It is a symbol of the pathway from frustration to fulfillment. And this is the essence of the message of our founders. The greatest testimonial we can give to Charles and Myrtle is not to admire what they had accomplished, but to find within ourselves that same quickening spirit. These are troubled times, and the dark shadows of war is on the world. Thousands of young people are giving the greatest measure of devotion for ideals. If ever there was a time when men should lift up their hearts and find a pattern of faith to emulate, it is now. It is now. You may open your eyes. We are standing on that bridge. And for your spiritual practice this week, I invite you to go out and find a place where you can just be with God, be with that light, and allow yourself to feel it moving around you, in you, through you. Maybe do some journaling to perceive the power of that light and it calling you into a new way of being, to step into the light of a brand new dawn, because we are standing on a bridge. Namaste.
I was born to live life fully, to let go of regret, to walk the highway life without a safety net, to follow something even bigger than my pride, to show up with courage even when I'm trembling inside. And I will not worry about what others think of me, and I will not be shackled by the chains of conformity. I'll break the mold set in the past, keep pushing till I'm free at last. I'll follow the path of my heart and make my life a work of art. Call me fearless. I am fearless. I will follow the road to adventure everywhere. I'll let the top down and let the wind tangle up my hair. Hitch my dreams onto the brightest star, and on the trapeze of life I'll just throw my heart right over the bar. On the other side of fear lies euphoria, and a greater understanding of who you really are. I'll break the mold set in the past, keep pushing till I'm free at last. I'll follow the path of my heart and make my life a work of art. Call me fearless. I am fearless.
Yes, we are fearless. If you have been moved, touched, or inspired, we invite you to share your gratitude for the wisdom of Reverend Greg, for the uplifting music that Unity of Wilmington has to offer, for the potential for expanding consciousness, inspiring transformation. You can donate on Facebook, you can donate on our website, and you can find us on Venmo. Thank you.
And on this special day that we call Father's Day, we want to invite you, no matter what your experience with a father was, to know that within you, you have all of the capacity of the frequency of love, to find it within yourself, to nourish yourself, to love yourself, to be a father to yourself. You can stand on the bridge of faith knowing that you are whole in this moment, perfect and complete and deeply loved.
I'll push outside the comfort zone, remembering